Hello there, and welcome back. So we are getting into the final weeks of me having a container and a saw. So I'm frantically now trying to get the last big jobs. I mean, I'm being realistic here. I don't mean I'm going to be finished in in a couple of weeks. And as less, it's about a week and a half I've got left. However, the next task I'm going to tackle now is, now I've done the dinette, I have all the offcuts from that, and so I'm going to try and use the offcuts to do the remaining shelves and drawers for the galley and the cabin that I didn't manage to get round to. Well, when I say didn't manage to get, I wanted to wait so I have some offcuts. So that is the next task. So I'm gradually whittling down the scraps to what is feeling like hundreds of pieces for the drawers, although it is in the tens. Right, well, I'm hoping very much, I think I'm not wrong, but that should be the last mass sawing event I have to go through in this process. I'm looking very forward to the time when I'm not spending my Saturday evenings gluing bits of wood together and actually having a Saturday evening. Morning. Well, I managed to push myself to get the drawers finished last night, so I've got an extra two here in the cabin wardrobe for my socks and underwear. I also put a few shelves in one of the other cupboards. And then in the galley, I've finally been able to organise everything. So I've now got all my food all sorted out, rather in a big box or random drawers, which is great. That's my pasta drawer, big pasta drawer, and there are my tins, and that one comes all the way out. So. And then finally, there's one under the kettle for the cups to live. It feels very nice to get things a bit more organised. I know that when you see the videos, there's absolute chaos behind me in the background, but that really is not the way that I would choose to live. Afternoon. Well, it's an absolutely beautiful, a bit chilly, but still beautiful day, as you can see behind me. The ideal weather for cutting up the last piece of plywood. However, I'm not going to, because we've just seen off one of the people used to be on the hard standings, and it was such a beautiful vista as they were going down the canal. So if you remember last time I had a problem with the batteries, well, hopefully I've fixed that. So I'm going to try another quick run out to Foxton this time, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it will work. And this time there's a whole load of people from the boatyard coming, so I won't be able to cover up any mistakes. And by the way, this is not me segueing into a canal boating vlog. It's just that this is part of the build process, trying to iron out the kinks. So which is why I'm recording this for my own posterity. So we made it, and we're moored up, handily, very near to the pub. So I'll be having a pint, because I don't want to be boating and skidding all over the place, but yeah. Foxton is always busy on the weekends, so not the ideal place to be trying out your 3-point turns, but we did okay. Well, I have to say, I'm on the other side of the canal now, but it is kind of nice to see the boat floating there, as it should. Morning. I don't know what happened to the end of that video. I was trying the time-lapse feature rather than just taking video and speeding it up, which saves me some faffing around, and it worked quite well. But then just as we got back to the marina, for some reason, it stopped. I don't know whether that was the battery running out on the phone, or somebody just knocked the switch. Anyway, we got in okay, which was good. Sort of not. I wouldn't say I'm getting used to it, but each time was a little less difficult. Anyway, that was well worth doing. Not just the fact it was really nice to take a trip down the canal in lovely weather, but we got through it okay. The batteries performed well, and I'm actually starting to learn a bit more. So I was a bit horrified at first of how much power I was using. I was going along and using about 5 kilowatts an hour, which isn't what I was expecting, but I would probably was going just a little bit too fast. So if I just like a car, it's sort of exponential, the power usage. So if I knocked it back and just went on to the very lowered limits of about 3 miles an hour, according to what my phone was saying, that was then I was sort of down into the 2.5 kilowatts, which is what I was kind of expecting. So that's reassuring. And I said we made it there and back without any battery calamities, so that is good. Oh, apart from the fact that the BMS, it doesn't like it if you really ram it into reverse from standstill. It somehow thinks that you're overloading the batteries, but I'm not sure what to do about that, other than get a new BMS, which isn't on the menu in the next week or so, that's for sure. But I said that's good, so that gives me a bit more confidence that I might be able to actually leave the marina and get to where I need to go. Anyway, I'm have some tea, and it's pretty cold. Apparently, much below the average it should be for the middle of October, as anybody in Britain will know. But it's the last day of not rain until it starts raining like cats and dogs for a week. So I better go and start cutting up some plywood like I was supposed to do yesterday before I skived off to the pub. The Erbauer's making a cameo appearance for the first time in a long time. So I'm cutting up the battens that I bought as part of the plywood order, and I'm going to then try and, well, it's the last dry day before the Met Office says it's going to be not quite apocalyptic, but extremely heavy storms and rains for the foreseeable future. So I thought I'd better get this done, because these are then I'm going to try and do a floor, as it were, for the solar boxes, so I can put a few things in there. And now I'm going to rip them down the middle. And we have a pile of sticks. And the sticks have made a frame. And that's it in place. So it just gives it a couple of mil gap underneath, just so there is some air and you don't have any water collecting underneath. Though I have to say, these are pretty dry at the moment anyway, thanks to the fact that they're underneath the solar mounts. The scrap 6mm ply that used to be where the windows are now, I've just put that on top, and so in some of the boxes, and so you've got something to put things on without them actually lying on the deck. Afternoon. Well, I'm moving on to doing the porthole liners, and for that I am trying to cut out some circles. And as you know, I've had a quest throughout this this project, as it were, to try and get the perfect circle, and I think that I might have almost got there. So as I've done in the past, I've made a jig for the router, and that is well screwed into it. And then what's the difference is that I'm trying to cut a circle like this, so I'm using it as basically a compass. But because I'm going to have to do several circles, I've actually used a threaded insert in the centre of the wood, and this will be the scrap when it finishes, the inside. So it doesn't matter that there's a hole made for that. Morning. Well, as so often, I have just been rescued by Chris. Otherwise, I would have been a bit, well, a bit stuck as off. So I was changing. I'm doing the next step on the router ring, and I was changing over the router. And as I mentioned, I'd sort of screwed this in with bolted this in onto the jig, and I just couldn't get one of the bolts out. It was just something was gone anyway. And I tried and I mucked up with a pair of mole grips. I mucked all the head up, and had Chris not come along with his giant sort of grip wrenches and pull the thing out, and then his trusty tap set to retap the thread, said I would have I would have been wondering what to do right now. Anyway, what I am doing right now is doing the next stage. I'm routing out a very small channel on the reverse side of these. And then finally, it's back onto the front side for the, well, hopefully, the last cut. Well, they've come out kind of okay. As always, they'll need more sanding and painting. But in the meantime, I can't progress these any further because what I'm going to do is the inside bit I'm going to make out of perspex. I was originally going to do it out of bending plywood, but trying to find that is nigh impossible unless you've got specialist connections, as it were. So perspex it's going to be. However, I've ordered the perspex I need a week ago and it still hasn't arrived. So time is kind of running out, so I'll probably have to do these on the move, as it were. Afternoon. Great dusting. A change of scene. Rachel has very kindly let me use, she's let me pre-I'm using her planer thicknesser, which the phone is currently standing on, but I'm just cutting up. So this is some of the leftover planks I did the solar boxes from, which I specifically kept for to do this. So what I'm doing is creating lots of Mr. Trim. And I was going to cut this down on my circular saw, but it's a damn sight easier. It also feels a bit safer doing it on this. So that's what I'm doing for now. It's a bit tedious, but hey, it's got to be done. For the bigger bits, I'm back on the table saw because it is significantly faster. And when I say bigger, I mean thicker. And you can get these through without worrying about them all ripping up. Well, that is frankly an unbelievable amount of strips of wood. Though, alas, not surprising when you think, all the joins between all the different pieces of plywood. It soon adds up. So as you can probably tell, there's not a huge amount of enthusiasm in my voice because it's one thing now. I've got these nice smooth, flat strips, but now I've got to do something with them both. Round off some corners as needed, cut some of them down, and then I'd say then, not that's going to happen in this video or any in the coming days, but of course then it's got to be painted and actually put in place. So, as you can see, I've abandoned the idea of trying to use the router to round off the edges because I bought a fancy pants router cutter and it just I wasn't getting it to work properly. It was more fuss than it was worth. So back to the trusty belt sander, which is working great. Boring, but working great. And even what I'm going to do, I'll probably undo some of them, and then the rest of them I will continue doing as I need them. Otherwise, I'm going to be here literally all day. That's several days of work, that, and it's not even completely finished. There's still a bit more sanding and shaping to do, but I'm going to do that as I use it. Well, not a particularly enthralling video, I'll be the first to admit. Well, I thought so when I've been editing the stuff so far. But there are lots of bits of things that I need to do, and alas, in preparations for sort of the next phase, as it were. So no great accomplishments, no dinettes done or anything, but that's just sometimes the way it is. Anyway, so yeah, so soon there'll be a change of gear, and that's what I'm sort of preparing for. Anyway, so in the meantime, I've been saying on the end of each video now, I don't know, next time there might be a gap. Well, this time I definitely know, so there will not be a video for a couple of weeks now, because I need to go away for a few days, and that means that there won't be anything to show you. So just keep your keep your enthusiasm contained. No, if you just bear with me, and I will return to your YouTube feed in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, thanks for watching, hope you're well, and catch you later.